One of the most underused tools with Claude right now has to be Claude Artifacts. And I'm telling you guys right now, this is a game changer. If you are using this right, you can be deploying apps left and right, all within the span of just a few minutes. And actually, some of the apps that I've made with this, I would actually pay money for in the App Store, and it's just made in like 3 minutes or something like that with just a few prompts. But actually, it's because this artifacts feature has gotten so many absolutely massive updates over the past year. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about exactly how to launch a few things. Matter of fact, I'll be launching a couple of apps over the next, I think, 10 minutes or so that are just gonna, you'll see why this is one of the best things that Claude's got right now. But for all of you that have missed what I'm talking about even, maybe you don't even know what Claude Artifacts is all about. If you open up Claude on the desktop, there's a little button on the left that says Artifacts, and once you open it up, it says right here, let's get cooking. Pick an artifact category or start building your idea from scratch with a couple of options. Apps or websites, documents and templates, games, productivity tools, from scratch, a quiz, survey, or a creative project. And if you press apps and websites, it'll tell you, what a great choice, my friend. I can help you create an app or a website. To get started, could you tell me what type of thing you want to build? Well, I personally think starting this from scratch by talking to Claude is kind of diabolical because what are you doing? But you know what? Maybe this is actually the best method. You know, when you're already in Artifacts building something, I've never tried it before. Usually you're building something somewhere else within Claude Cowork or Claude Code, and it'll ask you if you want to build an artifact. And exactly what that is all about, we'll talk about in just a second. But let me first tell you what exactly changed over the past year or so. Claude Artifacts in 2026, 4 updates that changed everything. So first of all, now it's gotten a massive storage update. So it's got persistent data, which means that apps can now save state across sessions up to 20 megabytes per artifact, no backend, no database, and no deployment. At the same time, it can now call upon Claude's API from the inside. Artifacts can call the Claude API directly. The app can think for itself, generate content, and run reasoning. While also at the same time, right now, it's got MCP connector support, which basically means you can insert your calendar from Google or your Gmail or Slack or Google Drive or whatever, any sort of MCP server. So right now you've got real services, not just mock data, which is absolutely amazing. And then also it's got more of a community right now, right? It's got a community catalog, which basically means you can browse different artifacts that people have built, and you can take them and kind of fork them, remix them, whatever you want to do. A lot of new possibilities over the past couple of months. Now let's talk about building some actual artifacts live in the Claude app. So I've got open right here Claude dashboard, just made myself one very simple habit tracker by inserting the prompt you can see right there. This is what it gave me after about 20 seconds worth of generation. And I've been doing this for a little while in this chat box right here, but let me tell you something. I'm thinking of that meme. Here's a simple little finance dashboard that I quickly decided to generate it. Again, it took about 30 seconds or something like that. So these apps are pretty great for the fact of how fast they are. But here's the thing, even though these are pretty cool, here's like a vibe check. You can actually make these significantly more detailed. Here's a little Pomodoro timer. All you gotta do is just make sure you've got a little bit of a prompt that actually says what you want it to be. For example, I've made it a bit more difficult here by stating, build me a personal finance dashboard as a React artifact with persistent storage and beautiful data visualization. Use read charts for charts, and the requirements are right here. So you can see I've set quite a lot of different requirements for what this app should have, should be, and we can of course let Claude design this for you. And the dashboard that it was able to generate me in just, again, like 20 seconds or something of that sort is pretty nice. It gets the job done. It's not going to be perfect, but hey, it's good enough. And you can see I can add transactions in there. This is something that would be 4 times, just probably cost you hundreds of dollars or something like that for a developer to make. And right now it takes like 20 seconds, but I decided to take it a little step further and show the proof of concept by actually showing and going for a couple of different apps, a couple of different prompts. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you right here 5 different apps I was able to make in just 3 minutes, something like that, probably less than that because I generated these all at the same time. Here's also a habit tracker app. Right here you can see, all right? Thursday, 30th of April, I've got my habits in check. I want to add something. Well, here you can see how I'm supposed to do that. It's very simple. So I want to, for example, read. Right, 10M, put a little, I don't know, Zen emoji right there. Let's add a habit so I can track it in a certain way. Every single time I did it, I just give it a little thumbs up right there and it's going to start tracking it. Absolutely freaking amazing. Or on a different field, Flashcard study. I built my entire app for, let's do Spanish irregular verbs. Generate some flashcards, give it a little second. Enter any topic and AI will generate a custom 10-card deck for you. So we're gonna have to, of course, give it a little second to load on in. At the same time, we will go to the next app right here. This one wanted some extra permission before it was able to make its Wordle clone, but we give it a little bit of time, it'll build it right out. At the same time, we also have an AI recipe generator. Now, is this very useful? I don't know. I don't know who's generating recipes like this off the dome. Like, that's kind of diabolical. Who makes a recipe nowadays with AI? I've never really heard or thought about that. Making recipes with AI. But now it's possible. You just type in what's in your pantry and it'll find some sort of different thing it can make. Now I'm thinking about it. This is actually really useful. You just type in and let your AI know exactly all the different ingredients that you've got, and it can look through all the online very popular recipes to know what exactly you could be making. Okay, I never thought about it that way. You can also insert how long it's able to take or what type of, this is actually not bad. You know, this is something a lot of people I think could pay some money for. This idea, if this is marketed right, could be absolutely huge. And I just made it in, let's say 25 seconds or something of that sort. If you want the prompts, by the way, you can see right here, this is the prompt for that one. So just give it a little screenshot. If you want the prompt for the next one, here we go. Just give it a screenshot or two. Here we go again for the AP flashcards. Give it a little screenshot or two and you got it for yourself. And here we go as well for this little habit tracker. Oh, last but not least, the financial dashboard. But you can also let your AI generate it for you. Like I said before, you don't have to use mine. It's just an example though. All right, now for a little second, of course, I wanna, actually go through my apps here. What makes a Spanish verb irregular? Okay. All right, I got that. I guess I should supposed to know that. How do you conjugate ser, to be, in present tense? All right, is it the full line? So it's asking me to conjugate it all the way through. So, okay, we got soy at least. Yeah, it's got all of them. Okay. You know what? Good enough. And we got Wordle. Okay, let's lock in right now. This is my time to shine. I'm on camera. This is me right here. All I remember is you always start with like a word like slate. I think that's always a good start. Let's give it a little look. So enter. All right. I guess perhaps you put in a little irony. I think that's also a really nice word a lot of people go for. Let's enter that up. Ooh. First thing that came to mind here is argue. We can insert. Oh. Hey. Fun fact. I don't know if there's actually even a way to cheat with this. Because in theory, it's just going to be random every single time, right? I guess if I maybe saw the code in a deep way, I got a bit lucky. I'm pretty happy with that. These 3 AM eyes may not showcase it, but the joy I'm feeling right now from actually winning at Wordle in 3 tries, it's actually pretty high. Should I double down? Oh, I shouldn't. So long story short, Claude Artifacts is actually pretty insane. You just saw me build 5 apps within Claude, either the AI version or desktop version, in the span of 3 minutes. And you can see how massive the potential is with this, because you can see all the different apps that you've just made in a nice little overview, again, in Claude Artifacts right here. And so if you're ever looking to use one of these apps, you can again just scroll through and find them. And so the cost of building an app has basically gone to 0. And the craziest thing to me is you can do this all just within a chat. If you're in the middle of a chat, you're switching through design, you're switching through code, and all of a sudden you think, you know what? I want a habit tracker. Within a Claude prompt, you can actually say, you know what, research this, research that, and actually make me a fully workable app that works in this way, shape, or form. And it'll then ask you if you want to build an artifact for it, just so you can always easier find it back. And because, well, maybe it works a bit better in the form of an app or a usable thing, or an artifact is what it's called, rather than just in some PDF or whatever. Because it's interactive that way. And well, to you, it doesn't cost you any extra effort or any extra thing. It's just so amazing to me. This is one of the best features that Claude's got, and a lot of people are using it wrong. They don't realize you can use this for a ton of different things all the time while you're chatting, and you can let Claude build the artifacts for you. Anyway, take a look at it. Let me know the coolest thing you've built with this, and I'll see you guys again in another video somewhere later today or tomorrow, because I post about AI every single day.